All right, TSL Nation, let's get it. Welcome back or welcome to another edition of The Sales Life. And as you can see, man, if you're joining me on Facebook Live, you see, man, I'm not in my normal location, man. I'm out of town. So, but I did not and will not miss The Sales Life, just like you will not either. So thank you for being here. Sales Life is just not for those in the sales profession. It's for those who are building the life skills of selling. Because, dude, we're all selling our way through life, to, through, or from something. So if you want a better lifestyle, then what you have to do is you have to build better skills. And that's what the TSL is all about, man. So today, dude, what we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about decisions, but as they lead to outcomes. And Kevin Systrom, who is the co-founder of Instagram, doesn't like the word decision and consequences together. And he says, because many times we don't factor in all of the potential outcomes. And for me, dude, I've never really liked the word consequences. And many times when we say, if you make a decision, then, you got to deal with the consequences, right? But when we do that, and I put the little neck roll with that also, when we say that, then we're already kind of setting it up for failure. We're already saying that this is going to lead into something bad. So that's why I don't like the word consequences, because what if it was a good decision? Well, then it was just a good decision. So Systrom looks at it, he said, when you make a decision, and when you're getting ready to make a decision, factor in the potential range of outcomes. And many times it's not that we made the wrong decision. Oftentimes is that we didn't factor in all of the potential ranges of outcome. Look, make whatever decision you want, but only make the decision once you've considered the range of outcomes. And if it falls within the potential, if your decision falls within the range of potential outcomes, meaning you lay all of them out, he said, if it's an acceptable range for you, then go ahead and move forward. Oftentimes, dude, when it comes to a decision, we're already biased based on what we already think is going to happen, right? So you're already looking at it through a skewed lens of this is, if I make the decision, this is how it's going to happen. We often think that a decision has got only one outcome, and that's not the case at all. Decisions have multiple outcomes. Okay, decisions have a range of those things, but oftentimes we only pick that one thing and we say this is how it's got to work, because often we have so much belief in not only ourselves but also what we believe to have happen that we don't look at the other things. And then when we make that decision and we get into the whole thick of things and we realize, oh crap, I didn't factor these things in. So this is so important, is when you're getting ready to make a decision, man, look at the full range of outcomes. So say for instance, dude, if you're going to switch jobs, then factor in all of the potential outcomes. So meaning, don't just look at it, okay, as in, I get to get the hell out of here. I'm tired of this place. It's dry. I'm ready to go. I'm ready for something different. If you make your decision solely based on that, you are blind to the other potential ranges of outcome. What are some other things, dude, that you're not even considering those things? And I know that you believe this is the dream job. I know that you believe this is the dream boss, but what are the potential ranges of outcomes? This will help you make better decisions, because if you can zoom out and look at it, and I like ranges, because if you say ranges of potential outcome, you're not so negative, you're not dug or entrenched in defending the decision that you want to make. What you're doing is you're able to sit back and just kind of look at everything and say, this is a possible outcome. This is a possible outcome. This is a possible outcome. And this is a possible outcome. Okay, here's my ranges. If it falls outside of that range, then maybe it's not the right time. But if it falls within that range, and list them all, dude, list them all. What are all of the potential outcomes? If you list all of those things and they fall within the range, then bro, that's a good decision. Go ahead and move forward with it. But at least you have the peace of mind that when you make that decision, you weighed all of the potential outcomes on that. So, like my bag, I want to get into sales, right? If you want to get into sales, you better look at the range of potential outcomes. One of the potential outcomes is it means I'm going to be away from my family. I'm going to miss recitals. I'm going to miss football games. I'm not going to be home at 5 o'clock every day. That is a potential outcome. Okay? Many times we get into sales because we're lured by the income, the money. We get lured by that, but dude, you're not factoring in all the potential outcomes. Sales has a unlimited potential, but it ain't got no floor either, man. So there's no floor to catch you. That is a potential outcome, dude, that you must consider. If you're getting into sales, man, maybe you're getting in and there's no client base. You've got nothing, so you got to start from scratch. How long is that going to take you? I get the fact that you got 5,000 friends on Facebook. That's all fine and good. Can you convert? See, there's a difference with conversing and converting. Many people can converse. Many people can talk. They can connect, but can you convert? Can you take those friends that you have and convert them into sales? If you're going in there dry, bro, and you have no sales base, no client base, then you better factor that in. That's a potential range of outcome. There's no guarantee. So it's all commission. It's a potential outcome. How long can you weather the storm? How long can you go without generating new income? Meaning, I'm going to have to live off of what I've already got. Also, if you're in sales, what's the decision time frame also? Many places, like industrial sales, the time it takes from the time that you meet that customer and start working with that customer, it may take them years before they even make a decision. So that means I have to have a lot of balls in the hopper, because this connection right now may not lead to a decision for 2 years from now. See, that's the kind of stuff you got to look at. Versus in car sales, the decision period is, a couple of hours. See, that's a shorter time frame. So meaning that I can take more reps. In real estate, the time frame, I don't know what the time frame is, but if it takes 90 or 120 days for them with average clients, and somebody can comment and let me know what that is. So whatever that is, if that's the case, then you have to realize you're not going to make an instant sale. Many times people get into, say, something like real estate because they're only looking at the prices of these big homes right here and saying, oh man, I could sell that $500,000 property and make a 6% commission. You're not looking at all the potential outcomes. That is one thing. Making a sale is one thing. What's the potential outcome? It may take me 120 days. I may not even get to that for several years. I may have to sell these little fixer-uppers for some kind of time. Those are potential outcomes that you have to look at. If you want to start a business, man, you have to look at that. Don't just look at it. I know you feel like that you have the dream product. I know that you feel like that you have the dream idea. That's good. That's one outcome. What's another potential outcome? The competition out here is fierce. I'm going from zero, meaning nobody even knows anything that I do in this kind of business. They didn't even know, man, I didn't even know you could even do something like that. You go from zero, and now you're going to leap off into something and then try to not only run a business, but start a business and attract more business. See, those are potential outcomes, dude, that you have to look at. If you have people on your payroll, you got to factor those things in. That's potential. Now, not only are you responsible for yourself, now, and that's what you've been at your normal job. Now what you have to be is, you've got to be responsible for other people as well. See, those are potential outcomes. Let's go to working out real quick. The decision, I want to lay up. I want to lay on the couch, man. I want to lay up. I don't want to do anything. That's a decision. You could make that decision. but what's the range of outcomes? Okay, if I keep doing that, then it's going to lead to high blood pressure. My pants ain't gonna fit good. I'm not gonna look good in the mirror anymore. Early death. I start aging more because I'm not putting healthy stress onto my body. All kind of different things. If all of that is fine with you, then go ahead, lay up, man. Don't work out at all. That food that you want to eat, what's the potential outcome of that thing? All right, that's the kind of things, dude, that you have to look at. These are things, man. You have to look at potential. You have to look at your decisions. But what I want you to do is I want you to lay out all your potential outcomes, man. So that way you can make a more educated decision. I think many times it's not that we made the wrong decision necessarily. It's that we didn't factor in all the potential outcomes. And we only thought it was one box. We only thought it was one option, and that's totally not the case. There's a range of potential outcomes. So as you move forward and you're working with a decision, and I'm not saying don't make a decision, because I do want you to make decisions. I think many times, dude, we don't make decisions because we only look at one outcome also, which is a negative outcome. I don't know anything about it. Yeah, but could you learn it? I think that's one thing too, is, I'm saying when you make a decision, maybe you didn't factor it in, and then all of a sudden it ended up not turning out the way that you wanted it to. But also, it doesn't mean don't make a move at all. It means if you look at a decision, if you're getting ready to make a decision, don't just sit down and stay at the job that you're at right now because you're terrified of the newness. No, that's one thing. But what are some potential outcomes? I could change my whole life. I could turn my whole life around with this decision. So as you make the decision, if you can zoom out and lay these things on the table and literally list these things out, I think that you're going to find that you're going to make more powerful or empowered decisions from there. So your TSL action item of today. Number one, what decision are you making? Number one, I need you to make a decision. Not, I'm gonna let you know, not shrug it off, none of that. What's a decision? And number two, list all the ranges of potential outcomes. And then number three, and this is super important, get somebody else to bounce it off somebody else. Don't defend it. Just say, look, what's a potential, if I got into sales, man, what do you think, what's your feeling on that? What's an outcome on that? Google it. If you don't want to tell nobody, Google it. Google's your best friend. She won't tell you nothing. She won't tell nobody else what you're looking at. Ask Google those things. Okay? So ups and downs of getting into the sales, ups and downs of real estate, whatever. You just need you need some idea generators so that way you can lay it all out, look at it, then make a better decision. All right? Remember, never settle. Keep selling your way through life no matter what. Stay in the sales.
Hey, you've reached the end of this episode, but you have not reached the end of the sales life. Stay tuned. I got another one queued up just for you.